I'm Andrew Nelson, Associate Vice President for Entrepreneurship and Innovation at the Knight Campus. I also am a professor in the business school and Randall C. Pape Chair in Entrepreneurship and Innovation.
Hi, I'm Ki Giong. I'm a professor at the Knight Campus. My research mostly focuses on implantable devices and wireless sensor technology. I also have a startup company here trying to commercial my research into a commercial product.
Whenever I hear startup, my ears go, ooh. So I'm so curious to hear more about your startup. Tell us, what is it? What are you doing?
Yeah, well, for the last 20 years or so, I've been building different wireless sensor technologies. And then as my career progresses, I start to move more and more of this sensor technology into human application, mostly medical care. And right now, all my sensors focusing mostly on orthopedics. In a lot of times, orthopedic technology are still not as developed as other field of medical area. For orthopedic, they still rely on very old system like bone screw, bone plates. It's still a piece of metal or piece of plastic that used to hold things together. And I have been doing a lot of sensor technology, as I said before. And my innovation is, we want to make this less boring. A piece of bone plate, we can instrument it. We can put sensor in there. We can put actuator in there, and it can provide specific functions to track the effect of the bone plate, to track the healing condition. And for that, you can give the patient a much direct knowledge of how things are going on, give the doctors a physical therapy, say that, hey, you know what, things are going well or not. And if needed, the bone plate or the bone screw should be able to react to conditions. Can we change a little bit here? Can we change the stiffness? Can we provide mechanical stimulation on the fly to improve the healing? So that has been the focus, the heart of my research in the last couple of years. And as I say, the startup is basically a channel to make what happen in the lab to move on so that people can actually use it.
I'm always curious, the world before your startup. So what was this process like before your sensors? I think of, in some ways, orthopedic surgery reminds me of medieval torture. You actually have screws and plates and things you put in bodies,
yeah.
But it seems a little blind also. And if I'm understanding right, it sounds like your sensors actually give us some insight into what's going on inside the body.
Yep, exactly. So the process is very particular. For a lot of faculty or academia, it is, we do research, we publish, and then we get funding. We do more research, we publish funding, and the cycle is kind of just keep feeding itself. And there's a lack of a channel, a very clear channel to actually throw it out to actually become some type of a commercial or clinical product. So the startup is a one good way to do that. And then I'm very happy Knight Campus is and UC Oregon provide this type of opportunity. That's what their focus is. And so a lot of times that when we talk about startup it's always start on the consumer side. Even though I have the technology, but it doesn't mean that everybody need my technology, right? You can have the best technology, no one's need it, and you still access the technology. And I've been talking to a lot of patients and surgeons, someone who actually is on the ground doing this type of thing. They know what is needed, they know what is missing. And from their feedback, we talk to a lot of them and they tell me that yes, a lot of times they operate in the blind. They have no clear idea what happened. They are based upon average information, gut instincts, and sometimes they do have information. They can go through X-ray, MRI, but still, those type of information is not as accurate. And sometimes it all leads to interpretation. So what they really want is something a bit more quantitative, something that can tell them this is the number that they can comfortable with, can make the guided decision. So that is what my technology is about.
That's fantastic. I'm curious. You were already a very senior person in the field, and this Knight Campus popped up in Eugene, Oregon, halfway across the country from where you were in Michigan. You were one of our very first faculty hires. What is it about the Knight Campus that you decided to come? What drew you here?
Well, I think the vision is what really attract me. The vision of Knight Campus is basically impact oriented, rather than technology oriented or funding oriented, and that is what really get me excited. And I've been doing a lot of research, but most of the time it is kind of self-feeding. You do research, you get funding, and go on. And in order to be successful in that type of environment, I don't see that I have the ability to actually help people, and that's kind of not the way I want to start end my career with. So when Knight Campus said that this is what we focus, entrepreneurship, startup, and all these keywords that we keep hearing about, those are the heart and soul of the Knight Campus. and that already got me hooked in. And then the more I talk to people here, the more I know things about, and I still see that there is actually a real support and commitment for the university, for the state even, and then for everyone here to really want to see this happen. And that is, make me comfortable to make the jump.
You've mentioned helping people, and I'm always curious. You are directly helping people. Your research is helping people. Have you connected with some of the surgeons who've used your inventions, or even some of the patients who've been helped by them?
Yeah, I have a couple people I work with. I talked to a couple people, even the local hospital as Slocum or Peace Health. I have a couple collaborators that I talk to them, mostly get the input for them. And then we still in the development phase, but they will be involved in my company. Some of them already is, and some of them I already co-invent a couple technology with them, and it's still in the early phase. I mean, I still came here for only a year, but I already have a couple invention disclosure with a couple surgeons at Peace Health, and with some different ideas and technology. And we haven't made the product yet, just 1 year. Right. But yeah, that's what we already have a commitment and collaboration going on. And I'm very excited because I also noticed that a lot of surgeons here, even though their main focus is patient-oriented, they wanted to, make the patient better. They just don't want to use a standard clinical care and say, this is the rule book, this is the guidance, we follow that. They want to think outside the box to make things better. And I'm happy to be able to work with that and contribute, use my engineering training to make what they want to happen.
Yeah. I love that. I often pitch entrepreneurship as just a process of making the world better, of finding problems or unmet needs and developing solutions, or at least improvements. And in some ways, there's no better field than medicine to see that take place. And you just look at the history of medicine and how we used to treat things or be unable to treat things, and now we can do better. Now we can directly help people. It's interesting. I was going to, when I was asking about you meeting surgeons and potentially patients, I had this vision that you're the hero in their eyes, right? I mean, you're developing things that enable them to either do their job more effectively and help people more effectively, or help themselves. But you twisted that in a fun way. So you said, yes, I talked to them, but they've now become, if I understand right, they become collaborators. So you now have some work going on with local people in the medical community. Say more about that. What are those conversations like, and how have those collaborations worked with people outside of the Knight campus?
You mean the collaboration with the surgeons? Yeah. So what I noticed is that we have different training, right? For people who are actually in the medical patient care side, their training is different from someone who, like me, come from engineer side. And a lot of times there are a lot of misunderstanding, just a poor understanding between what we know, what is possible, what is needed. So I think everything near down to a good partnership, right? I mean, people who want to see these things happen, and then the people come with different background, and then we just need to be patient with each other. And again, a lot of times, for example, a lot of times is for engineer like me, we are going to say, oh, this technology is so new, so cool. But for them, they probably don't care because it doesn't solve the problem, right? And for some time, they're going to say that we have really, really important things that need to be addressed. For us, it could be don't care. For us, it's just a very simple, straightforward. An undergrad can do it. But net down, I think is eventually, as I grow older, I start to understand that for this type of entrepreneurship or startup, it is not technology driven. Technology is important component, but it is actually not solution, but it is the need driven. Right? It doesn't really matter if I can just build a simple square piece of paper to solve the problem. That piece of paper is a solution, even though it's technologically boring. Even though if I cannot get a good publication out of it, it is still solving that. So at my stage right now, and I'm willing to make the commitment. Say, what, I want to see technology going out. Even though if I'm not going to publish like crazy like used to, even though I cannot get a big funding for that to develop new technology. But anything that can do, that can put into a clinical space, that have a real impact, and that is what I'm committed to do, and that's why I'm here at the Knight campus.
Yeah, that's terrific. Are there certain tangible resources or programs or other things that the Knight campus is providing that are making this process easier? Oh
yeah, certainly. I mean, the main resource is the intellectual property office. I just talked to them just now, and then they are really, really responsive, and then they are really want to invest, and then they are ready to do a little bit earlier investment. In my a lot of experience is that a lot of times, especially in the university intellectual property office, the technology transfer office, is that they say that, oh, you develop something and then come talk to me only when you are almost done or 100% done. But that's not how medical work, right? For medical technology, the investment is always higher. It is not that you write an iPhone app or something that's a bit shorter and easier. This is something that you need investment. So I think people here, they have the expertise, and then they are willing to invest a bit earlier on, and that is very critical for a lot of medical product. A lot of medical product at first it seems to be a little bit far-fetched, and then you may not think that, oh, this type of thing is not going to work, right? Or if we say that, and we talk to them, if you say that it's going to take about 8 years to get to that stage, and a lot of people say, oh, you know what, we are not going to invest that because there could be another guy come in and say, I'm going to write an app to do some type of sharing this. It's going to take 2 years, then you can see the difference, right? So here they really are committed to sink in for the long line to get a big fish, as what we say, and that is really helpful for me to work on this area. And of course, other area like your office also provide a lot of entrepreneur training. And even though I have some experience with that, but it doesn't hurt to see a different perspective and talk to people in the business to see what is beyond just a technology development or clinical adoption, right? For medical industry is weird because the payer and the user are different. So a lot of times you need a different business model than you're selling an app on an iPhone. You need to worry about insurance, regulatory issues, and all those are big challenge. And those are the resources that campus already start to collect, if not collect already, to actually help us to guide through our development process.
Yeah. No, that's such a key point. And I mean, I have to say I'm personally humbled to be part of the Knight Campus team because I'm a business school professor. And yet the reality is from day one, the Knight Campus said, exactly to your point, no, we need these other perspectives. We need to understand not only the technology development and how the science will progress, but what's the regulatory environment going to look like? What's the business model and the financial model for some of these things going to?
That's key.
Yeah, so it's really it's great to be part of this. I'm curious. You're quite a senior person. You've done this before. You're a full professor. As you look around at some of your new colleagues in the Knight Campus, are you seeing the same attitude towards innovation and entrepreneurship? And what do you see among students and other faculty?
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that, make me envy. I mean, I wish that I was like them. Well, I wish I was in this environment when I was younger. And most of the time, I just envy that they are young and I'm old, but that's another story.
Me too.
But yeah, but the whole idea here is they are so excited and they have so much idea and full of energy. And then we hire a couple new excellent faculty. And they are within the same wavelength. They always say they wanted to make sure that their technology or their research focus on that what can bring people. I mean, what can we advance the greatness or betterness of the society? And then so are the students. I have a couple of graduate students here, but I also recruit a lot of undergraduate students in my lab helping out. And the undergraduate student is something that I would also want to highlight that they are very, very energetic, and then really wanted to try new things, and they are very open-minded in terms of should I go to entrepreneurship path if that path open for me, and they are very open to that. So that is something that I take pleasure in talking to people here.
So I wonder if you could think back to when you were first starting your first company. What are some of the things that you needed to get that effort going?
You mean starting here or other places?
No, your very first time, yeah.
So, the very first time company I formed with when I was still a graduate student, I formed it with my advisor. And it was a very small company, and back then I was young and I do not know if it was successful or not. So we just go in, and then it was at Penn State. And we do have they have an incubator space, so we have a very, very old space. And that place is it's not too bad, but it's bare. It's nothing. So it is just like all the startup experience, right? You go to Walmart to buy the tables and chair kind of experience. A lot of people like, and we do have that. That's very, very exciting part of it. But the whole idea here is, Yes, it's a lot of paperwork, something that much more than I expected to. And unfortunately, back then we do not have the support like what we had at Night Campus. So that is why that we do get a lot of patents. We get a product out. We almost get a product out with a company, but at the end, because of the medical company is this company got purchased by this company, got purchased by that company, and once you do that merger happen, the direction changes, and that's when we lose out in technology, and that's when I leave my initial SBIR or the startup space and become professor.
Yeah.
And yeah, but those are a very rewarding experience. It gives me a lot of real world perspective, so I can become a better faculty. And when I talk to students, when I teach students, I can give them a bit more balanced understanding of what the world is, what the academia world is. I think that's an experience that I would not give back, or I would not exchange for any with.
Yeah.
Those are 5 years of my life, and I will keep that forever. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the process, right?
Yeah, it's a
that
process.
every entrepreneur
Exactly.
goes through.
And plus, it's not a complete loss. I'm bringing
Right.
back right now.
Right.
Right now, I can repeat the whole process again.
Yeah.
Probably
yeah.
not going to Walmart to buy the desk and table thing, but the rest will keep. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That continuous learning
Yeah.
is what
Yeah,
it's all
but
about.
I do encourage a lot of students or postdoc or someone there who think about the startup. Don't be afraid of doing that, but get a proper resource and mentorship. And there is one thing I want to highlight is Night Campus and University of Oregon in the whole, they really encourage this type of thing, and we provide a lot of resource. Even just talk to us, and that is something that as a great starting point.
So as you know, we've dedicated a big chunk of this beautiful new building to an innovation center and have space for companies to thrive and grow right within our Night Campus building. How would that have helped you as you think back when you first started a company, or even how does it help you right now as you look towards your next company?
That's a very good question. Remember when I said my first startup company? It was in an incubator. Unfortunately, the incubator is not it's too far away from the campus and research facility. So it's just an office building. And it's good to have host people in, but when you want to do research development, you still have to drive 10 minutes to another site. And that is not very efficient. The innovation space is right on the second floor here. You have faculty researcher on the third floor. You have all this nice fabrication facility on the a basement. And that location itself is going to make all the difference for technology company. Because imagine that if you have the office and small lab on the second floor here, if you need faculty expertise, walk upstairs. If you need to do some little bit more complicated fabrication, there's a user fee structure that you can use. Just go down there to fabricate it. Fast turnaround, intellectual exchange, that is what promote the growth of startup, and that is very critical. And plus, with that, you can also start to expand your technology, get more expertise, get more investor interested in your technology. So my company will get a small space at the second floor of innovation when it started next year.
Yeah, it's there was this great work done back in the 1970s where they would look at, it was a graph, and basically how likely are people to collaborate or even communicate with one another versus how far apart are they.
Oh, yeah.
And as you might imagine, that graph quickly fails.
Quickly goes away.
So if you're within 100 feet, you see people a lot. You have
Yeah.
those the water cooler conversations and maybe strike up some new collaborations.
Yeah.
But the minute someone's a few blocks away, much less 10 miles away or 100 miles away, that
does change a lot. Yeah, it doesn't mean it doesn't not happen, but you need so much commitment to keep it, and a lot of people just have too many things to go to keep that.
Yeah, and so it's, I think, a beautiful part of this building, as you said. We have it's all
integration.
right here, and it's
Yeah. The integration with the faculty, with the research lab facility, and the innovation component.
And I understand we have a video question about the Innovation Center.
Good evening. I'm Matt Sayer with Onward Eugene. Andrew, as you know, Onward Eugene has worked closely with the University of Oregon, in large part because of the existing innovation hub at 942 Olive Street. Can you tell us more about the additional support the Night Campus and the new 6,000 square foot Innovation Center brings to the startup community, and in turn, how that support fuels entrepreneurial growth both locally and across the state? Thanks for taking my question, Andrew.
Thank you, Matt, for that great questions. It's terrific to work with you. And I think the place to start is by acknowledging the Knight campus is fundamentally a partnership. And we couldn't accomplish anything that we've accomplished already without terrific partners across the region, across the state. And of course, we look forward to working together as the years move forward. The Innovation Center, one of my favorite topics to talk about. The immediate answer to this is it's 6,000 square feet of space right here in this beautiful building. It has wet labs, it has fume hoods, it has access to the latest cutting-edge equipment both within the lab and in other places in the Knight campus building. It has shared co-working space, it has private offices. It really is intended to be a physical space that lets our faculty and our students and others commercializing their research have access to what they need to take those first steps of starting a company. But I'm going to give you the more complex answer too, and that is that the Innovation Center is not just the physical space. The Innovation Center is also the access to our programming, to our workshops, to our other resources that teach people how to build companies or how to navigate the FDA approval process or how to protect their intellectual property. It's access to all of our networks and our connections, introductions to investors, introductions to key hires that might help you build your company. And it's access to, frankly, a community of other entrepreneurs who are doing exactly the same thing, of trying to positively impact society by commercializing the work that they're doing. So the Innovation Center, it's no accident, is in the heart of the building, and it's right next to the director's suite because it is so integral to everything that we're doing. And it's one way that the second part of your question was, how do we impact the economy and how do we impact what's going on locally? It's one way that we impact what's going on locally. Startups are such an important source of economic growth. They're an important source of employment. We often like to say here that we're not just the University of Oregon, we're the University for Oregon. And this is one of the ways in which we serve the entire state through our economic growth. One of the things we've discovered over this period of building the Knight campus is there's tremendous demand for this kind of facility across the Eugene, Springfield area and frankly across the entire state of Oregon. So already we have more demand for the Innovation Center than we have space to accommodate. I like to phrase this as a very high quality problem. It shows all of the great research that we have going on across this region, both within the University of Oregon and beyond campus as well. And certainly our hope is to be able to meet all of that, to have not just a thriving university, but a thriving ecosystem. Guy, thank you so much for your time. I have to say, it is always a pleasure to connect with you, and I always learn something new. So this is just terrific. Appreciate your time, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, likewise. Always nice to talk to you.